Good day. This is Bill Lee of Millennium Media, reporting to you live from our studio in Gallup, New Mexico. Our program today is What a Difference. We will reflect on the past, the stigma of Gallup being Drunktown, USA, the mobilization of communities to change their image, the impact on lives, and the vision for the future. One organization responsible for this dramatic change is Northwest New Mexico Fighting Back. Serving a tri-county of San Juan, Cibola, and McKinley, organized in 1992, the result of community appeal and funding from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, began the war on drugs and alcohol abuse. What a difference Fighting Back has made in our region. Once Gallup's infamous drunk tank was the symbol of the community. Streets littered with bodies of intoxicated people, the unlucky ones frozen to death. The carnage of drunk drivers affected every family. Aimless youth, bored and unstimulated, involved in destructive activities such as drinking and graffiti spray painting. Finally, who can forget the most innocent victims? Babies born with fetal alcohol syndrome. What a difference our communities are today. The pictures shown on 2020, today, and Week's End outraged our citizens. The wake-up call was heard. Alcohol addicts needed help and fast. Hundreds of volunteers in the 15,000 square miles responded.
I believe that the changes that have been made today, we can credit to the community in its entirety. There's been many efforts made by people in all parts and all walks of life, and for that we are grateful.
I have just been one of the many people in the city of Gallup that have worked together to make a difference.
The Northwest New Mexico Council of Governments obtained a grant from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation funding the efforts of Northwest New Mexico Fighting Back.
The 4 areas identified as critical were attacked as any well-armed force might: invading, pressuring, and influencing public policy, prevention, community involvement, and education. Help would come from the legislature when a march from Gallup to the state capitol several hundred miles away demanded their attention. One of the many reforms came in the unique 5% liquor excise tax and the closure of the drive-up liquor windows, both exclusive to McKinley County. The revenues from the 5% tax are used to fund various treatment programs and retire the bonds used in the construction of the Na-Njozi Center in Gallup. The intoxicated person is admitted by a protective custody patrolman, where they are evaluated, counseled, and treated. The NCI admissions have decreased as the effectiveness of even short-term treatment has made its impact. The vote to close drive-up liquor windows was passed as citizens addressed another problem: the inability of the distributor to determine the age or level of intoxication of the customer.
My name is Joe DiGregorio. I'm president of California Supermarkets in Gallup, New Mexico. We're a family business that's been here 58 years, and one of the businesses we have liquor departments within our stores. Several years ago, I was on a committee called Fighting Back, and as we became involved in this issue of liquor and the alcohol problem in not only in our county, in our state, and in our country, there was a group of us that realized that we have a responsibility not only to ourselves and to our community, but to everyone. We got involved on the issue of drive-up windows. And basically, it was my philosophy that if we could get people to come out of their cars into our stores, we not only had a better chance to look at them to see if we could make a sale, but also we could judge to see if their age is correct, the product they were buying is being consumed by them and not by other people in the car. The other thing that happened to us is we found that by getting them into the store, we could merchandise the store and sell them related products. I am standing in front of one of the windows that was closed. The other thing is that by closing the windows and taking the stand we did, we found that, and generally, people that work with our organization realize that they have a commitment also, that it's a family thing. We felt that we had to do something to make Gallup a better place to live.
Participation continues from every segment of the community as issues arise.
I'm Jay Mccallum, pastor, First Baptist Church, Gallup, New Mexico. The first thing that motivated me into action was when the legislative process in New Mexico passed a bill allowing Sunday sales. I began to organize the leaders of our community, local pastors, community leaders in civic organizations, and they began to help me circulate petitions in getting the required signatures needed. Then as I worked through that process, I began to use the media. We have a radio station, Millennium Media here, and our own church broadcast. And then when we began to use those, other media forces became very apparent, the Gallup Independent newspaper, other radio stations, and then it began to catch fire. The Wall Street Journal interviewed me, Washington Post, London Times, and it caught national and world attention, which led to a citywide vote on October the 17th, whereas we defeated the Sunday package sales in Gallup. This is what I became involved in and how I mobilized and worked in our geographical region.
Prevention was and is an important area targeted by the community. Several successful initiatives have been established with the help of Fighting Back. Programs such as the Gallup Youth Council, the Zuni Mountain Ropes Course, the Gallup Youth Boxing Club, Fiesta de Colores, San Juan Family Preservation, Shiprock Men's Wellness Group, and Path of Renewal Halfway House, just to name a few.
The Gallup Youth Council started with 4 kids. To date, we have 60 to 70 at any given time. And these are regularly attending meeting kids that are involved in everything we do. When we have dances, our members seem to go up to 200, 250. Part of it, we just acquired a building down the street. Gallup now has a youth center and boxing club all in one building, promoting alcohol and drug-free functions for the kids other than just sports that every city and town has. We have dances, relays, art shows, try and stress a lot of education. And I work closely with some of the kids on probation, and the probation officers and the courts have started court ordering kids to do their service with us, which could compromise anything. We did a graffiti cleanup here in Gallup, along with the mayor's graffiti cleanup, and we had over 100 kids out there. We have a young boxer, he's 19 years old. Last year when he got involved with us, he was a high school dropout gang member. We got him involved in the boxing club, and it's been 8 months now he's been with us. He's currently attending the alternative high school. He went back to school. We took him to his first international bout in Las Cruces about 6 weeks ago. He beat the state champ of Chihuahua, Mexico. After the bout, he got an invitation to go to Colorado Springs to Olympic training to hopefully try for a spot on the team. If he does good there, he has an invitation to go to Switzerland for some exhibition bouts, all expenses paid. This was a kid who last year was out of school and in trouble with the law and in a gang. Now his gang is the boxing club and the youth council.
Without the boxing club, I don't think I would be anybody to myself. I'd be a nobody. Well, I am excited to try out for the Olympic boxing team. Compete against every other, going overseas and competing against different teams and stuff like that from other countries and stuff like that. It really it's a dream coming true right now.
Successful community involvement requires community organizing and adult volunteers such as boxing coaches and parent sponsors.
And I, as a parent, am involved. I'm here at practices and help them out as much as I can. Through the boxing club, through the working out, with a lot of support from the coach Larry Estrada, he's learned to control himself and think about things before he does them.
The ropes course and grants funded by Northwest New Mexico Fighting Back test the athletic and team-building skills of youth, providing stimulating challenges. Other alternatives, such as Fiesta de Colores and grants, celebrates healthy choices. Are the programs for our youth working?
Proof that it's working? 0 youth alcohol-related incidents during the 1995 graduation and prom season.
Other prevention and recovery programs helped by Fighting Back include the Path of Renewal Halfway House, San Juan Family Preservation Center, and the Good Orderly Directions House.
It's a halfway house for women, primarily pregnant women who are at risk. We have had 23 healthy babies, and that's a result of working with the IHS hospital, this community, and Fighting Back, which has brought together a whole group of people which are helping fight the alcohol problem that's in Gallup.
One success from recovery to teacher, Shay leads the way for other women.
The second treatment program I went to was a Native program, and there we were able to talk about the traditions and the different family values people had. Then I could remember, I could remember my grandmothers and what they told me, and it began to make sense. And I realized then that nothing would change for my family. My children were in foster homes, and I realized that they too would end up like I was. My mother had already died from alcoholism at 38. Months and months into recovery during my alcoholism, I had given birth to a child. See, in our way, we're taught that a mother carries a child, and the unborn child has this sacred trust in the mother. And I broke that trust when I drank with my child. The only way that I could make available to them anything that was of healthy nature was through me being sober. Then in some ways, it began to reveal to me this idea that I had some power over change. We have a recovery program in our home as a result of this child. Our recovery revolves around this beautiful person. He's taught us so many things. And as I am with my family and what we've learned about ourselves and how we begin to develop skills that could help us learn how to communicate with one another, how to understand one another, I began to see that it was really possible to take this to other families, out to communities. So that's what I do today. I go out to communities and I work with people and families and individuals. So you could say that I've made a real commitment. This is my mission.
The mission of Good Orderly Directions House and counseling of Shay Goodluck Barnes are examples of prevention, intervention, and education. Education has been high on the list of priorities. Educating the public is accomplished through radio, TV, special commercials, and print media.
I guess I really started paying attention to the advertisements on television when they first came out with the thing on, I think it was called Ocean Waters. But the one that's running now has impressed me greatly, because I think there's so many of our children that are going through this, and I know it's affected my grandchildren. They've paid attention, they've listened to it, and I think it's important that everybody know about it.
Education also includes programs organized by the Responsible Hospitality Council to train those involved in the alcohol service industry. Other educational efforts, such as traditional teachings, including wellness groups and GONA trainings, provide opportunities to explore healthy options using spiritual customs to break the cycle of abuse. Community involvement has been instrumental in changing the profile of the three-county area. Northwest New Mexico Fighting Back has brought the diverse and sparsely populated communities together. In order to obtain results, participation in every arena and community was necessary, working effectively with city, county, state, tribal, and federal governments and civic organizations.
Community itself has been able to present to the council many good ideas that we've been able to implement and send forth to the state capitol and implemented changes in state statute that affect this county and has led to a better community.
Then we had to work with the judges to make this victim impact panel to be part of the sentence that judges impose on offenders that are convicted on a DWI charge.
The efforts of these and many citizens, along with Fighting Back community organizers, unite the region in measurable ways.
I think what our Cibola County Fighting Back Association wanted to do is they looked at the problem as working with family preservation and starting at the root of the problem. And if we can start young with our children, maybe the problem won't, expand.
In Cibola County, the Acoma Carnival was instrumental in providing activities for youth and families. In San Juan County, a sacred journey to save lives of youth and families was the result of many alcohol-related deaths along State Highway 44, the deadliest highway in New Mexico. This sacred journey captures the heart of Native American culture, as in their tradition the journey of life begins at conception and is considered sacred. This is a powerful message for each of us, to treasure lives and our unique and creative nature. Public policy, prevention, education, and community involvement encompass many subgroups, all implemented by hundreds of volunteers in northwest New Mexico. As with any good army, offensive strategies of this campaign continue, and victory is within reach. Encouragement remains high when, for example, changes such as closing 9 of the 10 bars in downtown Gallup helped clean up the city.
That I've seen less drunks and lying in the streets, and there's the community it's a lot cleaner than it was 3 or 4 years ago.
The majestic beauty of northwest New Mexico can be seen during the rigorous athletic competition in our mountains and high plateaus, including the Mount Taylor Quadrathlon, numerous bike races and marathons, and the Red Rock Balloon Rally. Cultural events such as the Gallup Film Festival, the Intertribal Ceremonial, and Southwest art shows attract many visitors, demonstrating many diverse cultures. What is the vision for the future?
We want to see Gallup continue to increase and become an area that is second to none in the state as it is today, but there's still room for improvement. What we want to do is go forth and impress upon visitors and residents alike that this is a place to be, that changes have been made, and that you'll see more changes in the future, and that'll only become a better and better place to be.
Restoring harmony to northwest New Mexico, bringing tranquility and purpose to the lives of our neighbors is our goal.
Quite a contrast. Northwest New Mexico Fighting Back has made a difference. What does the future hold for Gallup and the surrounding communities? That depends on your vision and your commitment and involvement. What a difference you can make in your home and community.
The battles are being fought, but the war has not been won. Substance abuse continues to turn hopes and dreams into tears.
I lived right here in this community, and I remember being drunk, eating out of trash cans. I remember getting picked up and being put in jail. I remember leaving home, which is like 80 miles from here, and having no place to go. And it's not, today I know it's not about willpower, or having some sense about you, or knowing better. That's not what it's about. This is about addiction. And then when I was out here drinking and doing the things I did, there weren't resources available to people. And today you have a place like the Good Orderly Directions House, you have the NCI, where there are people there who will help the people who come through their programs. and give them hope. And I'm thinking that that's what I do. I spark other lives because someone else did it for me. I didn't do this by myself. There were many people who reached out to me.